Hello everyone, and welcome back to Allthemodium 7. In the last episode, we did something pretty spectacular. As you can see here, we set up the mechanical crafting for the ATM Star, and more importantly, we've set up the filtering for the ATM Star. So that's pretty cool. Now, if we get a little bit closer, the items load in, and this is where we currently stand. We need the Wither's Compass, and we need the Philosopher's Fuel. Now, in regards to both of those, we are well, and I mean well, on our way to getting them. Listen, I don't think we'll have the uranium this episode unless, I might go and try to mine some of that uranium that's allegedly in the end in a specific biome. We might do that this episode just to get that out of the way. But in regards to the antimatter, we'll quickly have a checkup. I don't want to get caught up here, but I believe in the last episode as well, we fixed our issue of it not crafting when I left the area. Let's see if that's the case. Well, for starters, I'll be honest, I don't see the recipe for the antimatter, which was in here, but normally when it stops working, the recipe stays, which makes me think that it did it, but clearly it's not here. I'm a little bit confused. Antimatter, are you in here? No. Okay, well, something clearly went wrong at some point. Actually, you know what? We didn't order the antimatter. I actually remember this. We ordered specifically this polonium. And the reason we did order this is because we wanted a bunch of spent nuclear waste. Because we were actually out of honeycombs. We genuinely didn't have any honeycombs flowing into the system because we just didn't have the radiation, which was a little bit weird because we did have this area pumped full. As you can see, there's a little bit still in the middle, but yeah, but I mean, it's pretty good. We clearly need some more though. So I'll tell you what, for the sake of doing things, I'll be honest, I want a recipe. I might change one of these recipes. Hold on. Let me cancel this and cancel this. I'm going to grab one of these polonium recipes, which is in one of these. Here it is. I might do it for the plutonium. We don't use plutonium all that often. So what I might do is chuck this guy in here and switch him around. I'm going to say, hey, the byproduct is the plutonium. We want to craft the nuclear waste. That's what we're actually after here, which, I mean, we're getting it, and it's genuinely what we're after. We don't really use plutonium for anything, so we might as well. Now, when we open this, we clearly have a spot for the spent nuclear waste, so I can click on this and say, like, hey, get me 100 buckets, which is a lot, but we should be able to do it. Fingers crossed we can do it. So we order that, and as you can see, I think it actually already may have crafted everything. Oh no, here it goes. It's crafting stuff now. So that's going to be a decent amount of radiation. To be honest, it crafted really easily. I'm just going to order 1,000. Oh, no, we can't afford 1,000. Okay, maybe we'll order a little bit less. I'll order. How many can I get away with? A little bit less. No, we have available 150. Okay. All right. Well, we can order this. Apparently, we don't have much plutonium, so we'll see what happens. I don't know why we don't have much plutonium, but I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Nevertheless, awesome. That can keep doing its thing. Hopefully, everything's working. It should be putting stuff into this guy. It should be. I'm hoping he's not putting things in here. I don't think he can, but I am scared that he is. Oh, as you can see now, we have a much higher number just in general around here. We're looking a lot better in terms of overall radiation. So hopefully that means more honeycombs. Fingers crossed. So, what is next, you might be wondering? Well, we are actually going to go into the end. I might go to the Unobtanium area. I think this is just a better end area, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Another thing I should say while we're here. Currently on our server, right, we have like a community server we have. Just surprise, surprise. It is for Allthemods 8. Obviously, I'm in Allthemods 7. But in Allthemods 8 at the moment, we were having the server in a crash loop, I think, from entangled blocks. So I'm not necessarily saying, like, run, hide. But I am saying, if you're playing single player, make some backups. Make sure you just copy your save folder every so often and just have a duplicate of it somewhere else on your desktop. Just in case one of your entangled blocks does mess up for whatever reason. Or honestly, any block messes up. You don't want to lose everything. I'll tell you now, it's horrific when you lose any amount of progress, let alone long periods of time. So just do be aware. And I feel the need to say that, especially since my last episode was making an... I didn't even show you guys that yet. Hold on. In the last episode, just real quick, we did this. We entangled the entire star, and it works. It's very beautiful. So anyhow, let's... Oh god, I went to the wrong one. But give me a second. Let me just go back to this one. So, what are we doing in here? We're not actually here for Unobtanium, but this would explain why we don't have as much Unobtanium as we do Vibranium, although I don't know. But what we're here for is to grab out a structures compass, which is somewhere. Structure compass. We're going to shift right click, and we are after. It was wasted something. Oh, actually, no, sorry, not structure compass. My bad, my bad. In fact, we'll put this guy back in here. We're after a biome. That is entirely my bad. Now, there is a biome compass, but I think it's called a nature's compass. Yeah, this guy here. Nature's compass. We'll do the exact same thing. Oh, no, this one you don't shift crouch. You just right click. Shift crouch? Crouch right click is what I meant. Shift right click. And we're going to search wasted. And there's 3 that we have. We have nether waste that's in the nether. We have magma waste, which is in the nether. And then we have cryptic waste, which is in the end. But I don't think it's what we want. It's from the biomes you'll go. We want something waste. Is there radioactive? Oh, degraded. It's in the end. It's from Evilcraft. Oh, yeah, the rad is from degraded. I'll be honest, I really don't know what we're after. I thought we were after wasted. I might check the comments on that last video to try and make sure that I'm not missing this. Wasted biome in the end. I don't believe we have that. What I'll do one more thing. We can sort by dimension, I think. I guess. Would it be source? Yeah, source is the mod that it comes from. I mean, I guess. And then we'll go down. We're obviously in the Minecraft section here. You know, I think if I just search end. No? I wanted category. Oh, yeah, that's what we want. Category. That makes more sense. So I'm going to try and find the end, which I imagine is going to be down in the T section. Okay, here we are. So underground and end. So currently we have Viscal Isles. We have the end in the end. We have Small End Islands. We have Shulkin Forest. Shulkren Forest, sorry. Nightshade, Evis, Imperius, Ethereal, Midlands, Highlands, Barrens, maybe. It's a good one. I'll think about it. So we've got the Barrens, degraded. We've got Wastes. We've got some Garden. And then we're into the Tiger biomes. None of these exactly sound like a uranium zone. You know what I mean? Like a big uranium zone. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, regardless, we do have a waste, so the cryptic waste. I mean, it's the closest name as far as I'm aware, so we'll head over here to the biome, because look at the map, it actually does look to be completely different. Is this, what is this stuff? So this is all cryptic stone. We obviously have some stuff. We do have some uranium. I'm wondering if that's like a higher ratio or something. I'm not too sure. Or maybe it's just a spot where a lot of stuff does spawn. I'll tell you what. We'll give it a shot. In terms of the uranium, if we look at our Philosopher's Fuel, we can order some of this stuff. We need, what, 40,000 ores. That's what we need. We need 40,000 ore. So, let's try and get that. Now, a chunk destroyer, we have one. They're really cool. We're going to grab a flux point as well so that we can power this bad boy. And we'll need some sort of storage. Realistically, I can just use an ender chest. That is the beauty of all things. I don't know what I'm saying, but we'll grab this guy. In the future, by the way, remind me never to lock our ender chests, or at least not color them. We don't need to. It makes my job so much harder every time I want to use one. It's because we were playing on a server to begin with, which we probably will for the next one, to be honest. Anyhow, here's the chunk destroyer. Here's the chest on top. So we won't see what we get from this, but we'll be able to have a look at uranium and sort of, I guess. We've got like what, 12 maybe I'll take a screenshot just in case we forget. We've got that much stuff, sure. So, what's next? Well, to begin with, we can change where it selects. So for example, if I click this, it goes one extra chunk in that direction. And if I minus this, it goes minus one chunk in that direction. So that would stop it from destroying this chunk. I don't know if that matters, because it sort of looks like it's going to be going down, right? Like, if I bring this guy back, as you can see, I don't actually know. I'll tell you what. Let's just do it. Let's just do it and see what happens. So there's no frame that we can do. Oh, I guess we've accidentally clicked that. There's modules we can put in. In terms of the modules, at Quarry, I mean, maybe there's like a fortune module or something. Here's the modules: filler, fuel, remove bedrock, XP, replacing, pumping, Y setter, status checker. Yeah, potato. Oh, actually, hold on. What's this thing? Enchantment movers and stuff. Sure. All right, whatever. I'm going to start this guy up, and we'll have a look at what we're dealing with. So chuck this guy in here, hook him up, disable the limit. And so in theory, yeah, as you can see, he's already begun. He's currently, well, he's chunk destroying. And he's doing a pretty good job. And he's working below that that line we saw. That's sort of the main thing I was curious about. Now, I am surprised. I didn't know. Oh, we're on a dummy block. Awesome. So, so this stuff's blocking in all the lava? We've got some frames built. This is quite nice. I'm a little bit surprised, but this is very nice. It's also, yeah, it's just cleaning up all the stuff. Oh, the dummy blocks are being used to replace the lava, and I imagine they'll disappear later. So this is actually going to make a pretty big mess. So realistically, we do actually want to just go ahead and increase all these ranges. I imagine it will make a mess very soon, which is going to be unfortunate, but I think we'll be able to clean it up. I think we're good. The main thing I'm curious about is obviously, oh, yeah, he's done. So now oh no, he keeps the frames there. Honestly, I'm very impressed. I must say, I'm very, very impressed. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pick up the chest, and I want to try it with a chest that we can look in, just so that I can see. You know what I mean? Just so that we know exactly what we're getting. In terms of this guy, I'll pick up the power. Is it going to work? I want to increase the ranges, but I think because he's already got power, he's not going to do it. Let's pick him up. If it lets me. He's also holding a bunch of lava. Yeah, he does some pretty cool stuff. So we'll click here. We'll increase the range. Oh, he goes pretty far, doesn't he? Let's do 10 chunks by 10 chunks by 10 chunks. And so where does this go? This goes out here. I'll tell you what. We might as well push this out a little bit further. That should cover pretty much everything. Listen, we're covering a massive area here. More than we probably need to. Oh, there's, yeah, lots of... Okay, there's a lot we can do. Yeah, hold on. So then we chuck this guy on. Obviously remove his limit. So he's now doing it. And we should be getting the goodies in here. Now, I think the problem is he covers, I guess, empty space as well. I imagine. So obviously we're not really getting much until he goes over a bit of land. What we can do, though, is we can time and bottle him. So we've now got 16 times the speed in here. And as you can see, he's catching up now. What I should do as well very quickly is grab some stack upgrades and fill this guy up just so that we can actually store everything that we're currently going to be mining. And there's our uranium that we can see. Let's speed this guy up a lot. I'm going to do 128. He's going very fast. He's not pulling that much power, to be honest. And what are we getting? We're getting a lot of redstone. We're getting a lot of lead, to be honest. Some uranium. We would need 40,000, which I'll be honest, like, that's pretty good. Some azure silver, raw silver. Let me do one final speed up. Just, you know, really put the ball in motion. The ball in motion? I don't know what I'm saying, but just, you know, get this guy going. What do we think? I mean, how long will this take to get to 40,000? Now, to be honest, the area I've picked is like a little island, I guess. I mean, it's a pretty big island, but if I were to place it like smack bang in the middle and just do like a perfect amount where I'm only getting this type of material, I guess, then it'd probably be pretty good. Like, I imagine it would be quite decent. I'm just wondering if the ratio is higher in these dimensions. I'm also not even sure if this waste is the right dimension. I imagine it is. But I obviously don't know. We could have a look at some of the other dimensions just to be sure. Oh, not dimensions, sorry. End biomes. I kind of do want to go to the barrens. I kind of want to go to these. Yeah. I'll be... Nah, I don't think there's a point. I'm just going to say there's not. You guys can tell me if there is. In regards to all of this, though. Yeah, sure. Sure. That's, I mean, that shows potential is what I'll say. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up. Yeah, drop all the items. Breakable holding crouch. We've made a big mess, but it's easily fixable. Obviously, be careful doing this on a server or on your world if you don't think that you can handle that many items on the ground. I think we're fine, as seen here. But that is a lot of items to be picking up. I'm going to pick all this stuff up, and I'm going to go to the other area, as in the bit over there, I think. I mean, I guess I could go right in the middle here and just do like an area around me. I just want to see, like, in the ideal situation, how much are we actually able to get from this? That's what I'm after here. Did we put the chest away? We must have. Let's go netherite chest. Beautiful. All right, so if I do 1 and I do 1, that is now like 3 total. So if I do this and this is now a 3x3 chunk. So if we just, oh, is this the other end of it? Yeah, it's the other end of it. So if we just do a 3x3 in the middle of these areas, you know, we find an area, every single spot here is covered by the good stuff, and then we just hook this guy up. I mean, what do we get in return? All right, it's built the frame. I believe now it should be digging. Yep, it looks as though it is. It's getting rid of the first chunk. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like... So, with our machine, we can make 1,000 uranium pieces at once. 1,000 of these. Which is pretty good, obviously. Each of these is what? 8 into 2. So you don't actually get 1,000, but you get a close amount. Each of these turn into 6. But then you can also run this guy probably like multiple times before you crush one of these. Yeah, you know? I don't know. I don't think this is as good as it could be. Maybe if I, you know, leave this guy running for a while in a massive area, like this whole thing, then maybe it's good. But I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I guess, yeah. I don't know. I'd not have made that obvious, but yeah. And despite all of that, we currently also have this guy currently gathering resources. Now, this is the laser drill that's gathering these pieces of uranium here. And I'll be honest, I don't know if it's better than the chunk destroyer. The chunk destroyer looks like it might have actually been generating this faster, which is pretty cool. In terms of the uranium, we do have a lot of this. If I were to spam click this, as you can see in the top left, it barely makes a dent. Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's honestly a lot. We've almost got 1 million uranium. I'm going to head back and yeah. And what I was going to say was I'm going to see if we can fix these recipes. So at the moment, what is happening is we are currently getting our uranium by smelting dust, which makes sense. That's, you know, that adds up. Realistically, what we should be doing is this recipe right here. So we grab that and we simply, oh, it's already in there. Sure. We go back to this recipe for the Philosopher's Fuel. We try to order it. It says, hey, we can make this guy. And then he also says, we can think about making this guy, but we actually need 300,000 more, which I'll be honest, not that much in the grand scheme of things, which is very, very, very promising to look at. Alternatively, we chuck in, I've got to go somewhere else to grab it, but we essentially make a recipe for converting this uranium, which I think we can do easily. Bear with me here. A little bit of some back and forth stuff. I'll try to do the Patrick Star today. I think we can get that done. What I was going to do, though, was wherever this guy gets his crafting information from, which I think is actually down here in this guy. What I was going to do is grab this uranium recipe, and what we should be able to do, assuming there's a pattern grid here, yep, beautiful, is we can click on this piece of uranium and change him, right? We can say, hey, you're actually able to accept any type of uranium. So he'll use any of these. We could accept, I guess, this extra chunk, but I don't care about the chunk. So we'll create that. Beautiful. So he now allows for alternative bits of uranium. So we can chuck that guy back in there. Then we can go back to the crafting area. Bear with me. Bear with me. We can put this dust recipe back in. And then I think we're good. Realistically, I could also just grab this guy out to be sure. Then if we go in uranium, we can click on this guy, try to order 100,000, for example, and he'll say, yeah, we can do it. It'll cost you 13,000 stuff, but we can do it. That's pretty much... Was that perfectly how much we had? It looks like it was, which is very interesting. But hey, he's doing it. That's the main thing. And then we can maybe put this guy back in and maybe he'll allow me to craft this stuff. I don't know. All right, so yeah, that's going to take a while. Sure. Let's get started on the Patrick Star. So, to begin with the Patrick Star, we have two options. Either we start entangling everything. I mean, well, not entangling, but filtering on the back in this guy, which is going to be a nightmare. But we can do that if we wanted to. Or, instead of that, we work on actually getting our hands on, you know, the concrete, right? Because some of this needs to be concrete. Some of it needs to be concrete powder. Little bit annoying either way, right? I think we do this first. Just get it out of the way a bit. So if we look through here, we need pink concrete. We're going to need pink concrete powder. we're going to need magenta concrete. We're going to need magenta concrete powder. Then we need green concrete powder, green concrete. We need lime concrete. I don't think we need lime concrete powder. I think we're good on that aspect. And then I think that's just everything. And I think we're just good. So then in here, we can make all the recipes. So how do we want to do this? Obviously, we've got a few options. Yeah, so this is for the actual watering, the wetting of the doohickey, right? We do have a fluid encapsulator, and he's right there. He might not be the fastest thing in the world, but I mean, for just crafting 55 blocks, that sounds good enough to me. I reckon we use that one right there. So in order to make the concrete, it'll use obviously the concrete powder and some water. Sounds good to me. So we'll grab that recipe. Oh, I didn't want to put that there. Then, how do we make the pink concrete? That's going to be pink dye, gravel, and sand. That sounds good to me. Awesome. Beautiful. And then we're going to do that for every single one of these. Alrighty, beautiful. We have all the recipes here. And then we have all the fluid encapsulating recipes here. And now we can start crafting this guy. Or I guess we can, place all the stuff in. So, this is going to be very boring for everyone involved, particularly me. So, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? I'll get the Patrick Star. I can sort of tell the difference. This is the powder. This is the actual concrete. I'll probably have to be double checking and stuff throughout anyway. But I'll take a picture of this, and maybe it'll make it a little bit easier to go through and do. And I will be back, sort of. I'll tell you what. I'll show you a few of them. So, for example, what I'm going to do at the bottom here is just grab these guys. So, a destination setting with our filter destination tools on the sides. We're going to then grab a piece of the concrete out. In particular, I believe this is magenta concrete, which shouldn't take too long. Yep, there we go. And we're going to open this guy up. I'm going to click add. I'm going to shift click this end. Someone told me to do that in the last episode, and that is a genius idea. It saves me. Previously, I was shift clicking like this, scrolling all the way to the bottom, then editing it and placing the destination in. But now this is much better. I just press add. And that honestly, like, it seems like a small thing, but that actually saves so much time. Oh, if I know what to press. Now, another very important thing to keep in mind is when you're doing this, how I'm currently doing it, which is sort of reversed, because obviously this is like the front of the entangled star, and this is the back, like flipped. We need to keep that in mind. So, for example, some of these are a little bit different, I believe. I don't think it's purely symmetrical, so do just double check that you're putting the right blocks in, well, I guess the right spots. You know what I've just realized? Yeah, I've confused myself a little bit, but this actually makes it so much easier. I should just go and build the star in there, like over here, and then we can just hold crouch and we can see exactly what blocks we need to use. That makes infinitely more sense. So, yeah, bear with me while I attempt to grab all this stuff out. Oh, there we go. This thing's actually very, very fast, as you can see. The issue was our importer was a bit of a bottleneck there, so we should actually be good in the concrete department now. All right, I'm pretty sure this is it. I'm pretty confident. So now what I should be able to do is go back here, and I can hover over each of the things. Actually, you know what? I don't know which one I'm up to. It's a bit of a problem. Look at this. I did the pink, and then I did all the green stuff and the other pink. So I believe this level's done. So we're now onto the third level. And what I can do is we can just grab like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on each of these, as we go through, I can hold. So this one's going to be green concrete, and then green concrete powder, and then lime. And I can jump in here and do that. Now the beauty of doing it the way that I'm currently doing it, by having them already in there and crouching, is we don't have to like flip anything. It's just whatever's in that block currently is obviously what we want to use. So 2 magentas, and then we have these 3 left. Another magenta concrete powder, and then 2 normal concrete. Okay, I believe that is the last piece of the puzzle. I believe that is the current case. Now, before we do anything, in the off chance that this breaks, we should grab this iron pipe that we have, this pipe upgrade, and we should attempt to make duplicates. I believe it's a possibility. As you can see here, it creates allegedly a duplicate. And then we can place this guy back in here, and we can allegedly make a few different duplicates. And when I put them back in, as you can see, all of the filters exist. And we now just have some backups that maybe I place another chest here that holds like a few of them. And then maybe we have another chest somewhere else that holds some more again. I'm not sure. One can go there. And then maybe in our normal ender chest so that we can never lose it. We have those in there. Maybe that's what we do. So what is next, you might be wondering? Well, if we jump back to the start, first of all, we give this a shot. I think we just do it. So I'm going to grab a motor, an electric motor. I'm going to grab a cogwheel. I'm going to grab an ender gate just because they sort of do the job a little bit better. And we're going to get this guy running. So I'm going to place a cogwheel attached here. I'm going to place a motor on the back. I'm going to connect our power. And it is currently overstressed, which, you know, fair enough. We could try slowing it down. Are any of these going to spin? One. Nope. Not enough. Okay. Listen, don't fret. It's not the end of the world. I think what I can do is I can get... Oh, I don't know what they call them. I want them to be, like, connected. Encased chain drive, I think is what we want. So I can grab a few of these. For example, 5. We'll see if these do the trick. And we can run them like so on the back. And I believe all of these sort of work. If that makes sense. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is if we craft 2 more, I can place them here. And every second one has to be reversed. So this guy would be negative, max speed. Or we'll do just like 32. Positive 32, negative, positive, and so on. So hopefully these two finish crafting at some point today. And then in theory, that will spin this one cogwheel with some combined stress units because I think that's how that works anyway. And yeah, all should be good. So we can come up here and watch our guy get crafted potentially. There looks to be, both of them. There we go. Sounds good to me. So we come back over here and we place these down. So that will be a negative. That will be a positive. Let's go ahead and get this guy there too. Awesome. So now I go ender gates. We could run up cables. Should we do that? Maybe we should. Maybe that'll just be, I don't know, a little bit of fun. So we'll grab that and we'll search cable. We'll grab some universal cables. We'll grab 5 of them. And what I'm going to do is run these like so. And then place our flux point there. Okay, so it didn't quite work. I guess they all go positive. Sure. I mean, that works. As you can see, it's spinning. Here we go. We are getting ourselves a Patrick Star. Now, it doesn't look quite like a star yet, just because of the way that we're combining all these pieces. But you should see something happening here. How cool is that? I am snapping up some thumbnails. Oh, that is awesome. And there we have it. We have ourselves our very first bloop, Patrick Star. How cool is that? So, what is next? Well, here is the tricky part. What is the tricky part? Well, how do we actually automate the crafting of either of these? Well, to begin with, the crafting of the Patrick Star should be remarkably easy. It should be very, very easy. We're going to grab a crafter, obviously. Doesn't have to be too crazy. It's just putting items in a thing. We can go under here, place our crafter. Obviously, I need to hook up some cables and stuff. We'll do that, I guess. I guess we should. All right, so this is hooked up. We've obviously got access under here. Wonderful. So the first recipe, we might be, I don't know how this is going to work, but can I just click this? What does it do? It does a whole lot of nothing. Essentially, I need to count out each amount of each of these, if that makes sense. So for example, I need to count out how much magenta there is and make a stack of it and do that for all the stuff that we have. So that should be pretty easy, to be honest. So I'm going to do that. I'll be back. Okay, I believe these are the numbers at the bottom. If I've done this correctly, it's going to save you guys a lot of time. So we're going to click on processing, and the inputs are going to be 2 lime concrete, 8 green concrete, 8 green concrete powder, 5 pink concrete powder, 11 pink concrete, sorry, 8 magenta concrete powder, and 13 magenta concrete. Now, for the sake of making sure that we've done this correctly, let me pull out a calculator real quick. These should add up to, what is it, like 55, I think? So I'll just quickly do that. All right, I got 55. I'm pretty happy with that. So this is to make a Patrick Star. So we go in here, we search Patrick, we drag this guy in, click this, and he's good to go. So what we'll go ahead and do is chuck this pattern in there. We'll jump over to the star, and let's see if it works that simply. So I'm going to click Patrick Star, I'm going to click Start Craft, and I'm going to click Order. It is currently going to be making all of the concrete, and then, which shouldn't take too long, I would imagine. I probably should have put some of the concrete away. We should get, drum roll please, if this works, we should get, no machine found. You're meant to be going into a chest. That's your machine. No machine found. Have I accidentally aimed it in the wrong direction? Listen, it's possible. I definitely agree that that may have happened. Yeah, I don't want to break anything here. If I grab a wrench from refined storage, oh god, I don't even know what I'm doing. Wrench. I should be able to flip this guy upside down. I think that might be it. I think that might have just done it. Maybe. Let's quickly go have a look. Is it? Nope. Okay. 1 second. Did it do anything? No. Okay. So it's currently facing one way, and then if I do it again, that should be the right way. But it clearly it doesn't really. Oh no, I think it's doing it. Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So that is fully automated. That's going to create as many Patrick Stars as we want on demand as we call for them. That's pretty cool. We can put this stuff away. There we go. So you might have already seen the issue that we're about to face, and that is, how do we do that for the ATM Star? We can't do it exactly the same because the amount of raw ingredients we need are more than fits on this page. Oh, there's a scroll bar. Huh. Very interesting. So what do we have access to? We have access to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 unique ingredients. The ATM Star itself has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 unique ingredients, if I count it correctly. We can make the star. What I was going to do, and what we did in Allthemod 6, in case you're curious, in case you're like, hey, I don't know how to get it to work, I don't have the scroll bar. Maybe in the future the scroll bar doesn't exist or it doesn't work or something. What do you do? Well, what I did is I had a buffer chest like this one here, and I would fill it with, or I'd have 2 chests, I guess, right? I'd have 1 chest for Patrick Star. I'd have 1 chest for the ATM Star. The ATM Star chest would be reliant on redstone. It would need a redstone signal to emit what it needs. Then what we would do is we would have it automatically be filled using exporters with crafting upgrades with like 99% of the ingredients for the ATM Star, right? Maybe leaving out a couple of the maybe hard ingredients or something. I'm not sure. But then what we would do is when we would order it, we would make a processor that says, for example, put 1 Patrick Star in, get out 1 ATM Star. So it would put in the Patrick Star, where you could use integrated dynamics or you could use a comparator or something to register when that extra item gets placed in there specifically. So you could use integrated dynamics to look at how many items are in there, how many slots are filled, look for the specific item, or there's various amounts of things you can do. And then once that's in there, emit the redstone signal, empty the chest, bada bing, bada boom. That's how you could do it. But it looks like we've got easy mode because we can just put the entire pattern in here, which is incredible. Can I click on this, and paste it in? The answer is no, apparently. Oh, you know what? I wonder. The scroll bar's gone. How does the scroll bar work? Very strange, is that not? I guess you unlock it as you keep putting more ingredients in. Sure. So anyway, we now need to create the pattern for the ATM Star. I'll remove all these bookmarks if it will let me, and then we'll bookmark all the stuff we need for the star, and bingo bango, I believe they say in the industry. Okay, so let's get crafting. I believe what we need is 28 alloy blocks, 15 of the nether star blocks, then obviously just 1 of each of these, which we can obviously place in manually like so. And as you can see, it looks like already we are unlocking that scroll bar. So we can already start going down and putting more stuff in. What we need as well is obviously the Philosopher's Fuel. We will need the Wither's Compass. And I think that's everything. if we look at the right side and we look here, that's pretty much everything. There's still going to need to be things that aren't in there. For example, creative essence is its own thing. So that's there. Then there's also the runes. So rune of Muspelheim is one of them. And then rune of Nidvillier is the other one. I think that is all of them. I'm looking at my bookmarks on the left. That's looking pretty good. Are we happy with that? I think I am. How many did we end up getting? So that's obviously 9 unique ingredients. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's what we had. I think we counted 14 unique ingredients. Then finally, obviously, the ATM Star itself on the other side. Looking pretty good. So this guy can go right in here like that. We can put all these ingredients away. And I can click on the star and I can click start and it will tell me, hey, you're missing a Wither's Compass and a Philosopher's Fuel. Fair enough. What we can do, very simply, is we can say, hey, this is how you make a Philosopher's Fuel. And this is how you make a Wither's Compass. Because I believe some of these ingredients we have auto-crafted. Maybe not. Clearly, I could be wrong. You shouldn't be you, but it kind of doesn't matter. What else do we have here? I got the glyph, I think. The charms we maybe could do, but it's not important at the moment. We'll chuck that stuff in there. So now when I click on this, now it's going to ask for more raw ingredients, right? It's going to say, hey, you need specifically some uranium and you need 4 antimatter pellets. That's what we're sort of dealing with. In terms of the uranium crafting we did is actually done. So if we search here, it got through all that raw uranium. So what I'm going to do now, and look at how much we have. We have over 1 million of the essence. Oh, this is so good. We're going to take out this ingredient here. Then we are going to try to craft this Philosopher's Fuel again. We can craft it. We can order exactly what we want. Now, before we do that, do we have the uranium in here in a good crafter? We do. That's all of it up here. Let's do it. Here we go. The 5 times uranium block. Boom. There it is. There it is. That's it. That's it right there. In terms of Philosopher's Fuel, we will need a piece of antimatter. We are on the verge of just greatness. Complete greatness. All right, so we're back in here. As you can see, we've got like 5,000 of this stuff. Are we able to get another antimatter yet? No, we need just more combs, which is a little bit unfortunate. We can put this antimatter in there, which means I think I can craft a Philosopher's Fuel. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we only need the final piece is the Wither's Compass, which just needs a little bit of antimatter. Oh my god. We are on the cusp. We are genuinely on the cusp. What we can, I'll tell you what. We need more honeycombs. That's just, we just do. We simply do. There's not much we can do about that. So what I'm going to do is I'll turn this stuff off because this is just our honeycomb production is what that section is. So we'll disconnect that. We'll reconnect this because this section is our normal fuel making, right? Our normal production zone. So now, you know what? I would love to have this guy connect there. Is this do we have the technology? Can we maybe grab an extra Fluix? Here we go. Are you gonna boot? Because this guy makes us the actual antimatter. No, he's missing channel. Of course you are. You couldn't help yourself, could you? We'll connect you there. We'll connect you there. We'll break you. We'll break you. And then we'll place you there. Huh? Network booting? Online. Wonderful. How many did we use up? 21. So we're good. So now, I can click on this and I can say, hey, I'd really like 4. And it's going to say you don't have enough sulfur. Sure. But can I get 3? He's going to say no. Okay, can I get 2? He's going to say no. Can I get 1? He's going to say yes. Sure. It's obviously going to do a lot of crafting. I'll order it. It's better than nothing. And now, once again, a little bit of a waiting game. Now, since this is literally the last thing we are waiting on, we have some things we can do. Step 1, I want to double check our bees over here. Specifically, the radiation. We're still radioactive, so we're still getting combs in here. Awesome. That's the main thing I wanted to check. So the next thing we can do is try to figure out is that, I guess, can we make uranium faster normally? To do that, we can look at some of the bottlenecks. For example, this guy is completely full. He's completely full. This guy, It looks like he can keep up, albeit barely. But he, you know, he's yeah, yeah. I reckon we could do with another one of these. All right, so we've got another one of these. They're very easy to make with our upgraded system. Then what I can do is I can grab some new combs. That's probably the good idea, or pattern, sorry. And I can open this up. I'm gonna take these guys out for now. Just probably this one's good enough. We'll place this guy in here. Take that out. And then I'll make at least one extra for now. So we'll chuck that guy back in. He should start crafting again. And then we can come along here. And for example, we can slap that guy there. He should boot up just fine. Slap him on top. In here, we can place in that same pattern. I'm not sure if he's working perfectly, but what we can do to double check is we can shift right click on this guy to get his configuration. Right click on this guy, and now he is. Now he'll obviously need power, so we'll have to grab him an ender gate, and we'll also have to grab him some upgrades. But we're looking good. Once again, this part that we're up to now is going to be, I don't know. All right, yeah, I'm not sure the right wording. But you might get the idea. It's like, yeah, a little bit of not much happening. All right, so what's the next thing that we're waiting on? Currently, it looks like the... Well, I'm not actually sure. I don't actually know, because it sort of goes in waves, doesn't it? Like, at one point, this thing needs to keep up. But then, at one point, like, this thing needs to keep up. So, like, I don't really know. Oh, this thing is full of steam, by the way. I believe we're currently dumping all the excess steam. This guy is ridiculous. This guy here is doing nothing. Our big battery, almost full, which is a little bit concerning. I'll be honest. In terms of induction cells more specifically, can we afford more? What was the main ingredient? Yeah, it was a lot of just, yeah, you know what I mean? Sure, we'll order 10 more. We'll double our storage. That should actually, you know what? Oh, wait, no. I was going to say it should craft quickly, but we're actually going to have to crush, like, thousands of gold. So probably not that quick. You know what I think the bottleneck is? It's probably still these chemical oxidizers. I imagine that's the case. Now, we do have a bunch of oxidizers here. So, once again, in theory, what I can do is we can disconnect this. We can... Well, I guess we can't disconnect this. I mean, we can. I'm going to disconnect this. So things are going to get a little bit upset for a second. I can reconnect this. And what we can do is we can steal this pattern. Oh, I just sort of got rid of the pattern. Huh. Yellow cake uranium is being stored in here. I've gotcha. So we should probably just make a recipe for that, right? So this thing in here makes that is probably a good recipe, and we should do like times 10. So for example, 2.5 buckets is made from 10 of you. I think so. And then we'll make how many do you reckon we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 maybe? If I count them right, hopefully. Alright, so I made a bunch of patterns. I don't know if they all work, but I made them. And so we can chuck them in here. And I guess we'll see if they work. These are chemical oxidizers, yeah? Yeah, sure. So then we have uranium oxide, and we can order this. So for example, how many buckets did it say we have? We currently have 23,000 buckets. So this stuff is apparently plentiful. Now, in terms of storing it, I don't really know where we're storing it. I guess in this guy here. And to be honest, we're only using 15,000 out of 200,000, so we can store a bunch of this. So I'm going to go ahead and try that out. Let's order. Do you reckon I order 1 million? Or is that overkill? I reckon we give it a shot. That is going to be 1 million buckets. No, we don't quite. We have 299. We require 4 million. So we're probably not doing that then. So that's sulfur. No, that's yellow cake uranium. So then what I would need is more enrichment chambers. Which, to be honest, hold on. If I grab the tier upgrades out, we should be able to make a bunch of. Because we can upgrade this guy to store more. Huh? Yeah. What is going on here? All right, so just real quick, I'm gonna make a pattern. I'm gonna make a pattern for creating this stuff, and once again, we'll probably times this by maybe by 10. I'm just trying to think. Maybe I do 40. So 40 in here, and what would that be? 20 here. Yeah. So we'll create that pattern, and we'll chuck that guy in here, which is cool and all. But arguably, I want to have him connected like down there, just so that we can have all of those oxidizers running. So I might actually do that. Let me just pick this stuff up. We can place down this guy there to bridge that gap, at least temporarily. So we can grab this stuff here. Obviously, we've got this massive chain down here. 1, 2, 3. We can probably go small square. This episode is very, like, it should be over. I'm well aware, but you know, we're doing stuff. So we can check power on this guy. He should be hooked up. He's online. He can obviously receive the recipe. What I am going to do as well, we should have had these auto-crafted. I'm honestly a little bit confused as to why we don't, but it's fine. But I am going to order, you know, one of each of these tiers. Okay, we finally have these. They took a while to craft. I had to cancel some of our other orders. Boom, boom, boom. This guy can now store a bunch of stuff. Awesome. We can come back down here. Currently, all of the orders are still, well, I guess, ordering. What I might do is honestly just cancel a few of these things to see, I guess, what's happening. Cancel all that stuff, sure. Open this guy up. Obviously, we want some uranium oxide. Can I order 200 buckets? It says we can. So let's order them. 200 buckets. So all of these guys are going to light up, which are going to do a crazy amount. And as you can see in here, we're able to produce enough. Not necessarily, well, yeah, actually, to keep all these going, because I just realized these end ones don't have recipes. So, yeah, I mean, hey, that's pretty good. So this one guy is clearly capable. Arguably, we need more oxidizers, but regardless, we're getting a bunch of uranium oxide. Yeah, what more could you want? Realistically, I would love to have both of these systems running at once. The problem currently is that we're pulling off of this one side of the controller here. In the ideal world, we pull off of this side as well. The problem is we have a barrel here. The barrel itself has uranium in it. That's easily moved. Very easily moved. I just haven't done it yet. So I'll tell you what, I do want to do it. Let's let's do it. All right, so I'll pick up the barrel if I can. Yep, so the barrel's here. I'll place him there and we'll fill him up with all the uranium he needs. Awesome. Don't need that stuff in there. Don't need that in there. Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. So he's perfectly full. This guy here was filtered, so he'll stay filtered. Oh, I didn't want to break both of those, which is a little unfortunate, because I'm not actually sure what was going in here. Sulfur, I guess. Sulfur ore. Let's just make sure that they stay correctly filtered. So then we can place this cable there. Sure, whatever. This guy here. You know what, actually? I'm going to break that again. I actually want this to be a dense cable, which I obviously don't have on me. Alright, I want this to be a dense cable. We can have this guy here, for example, and then we can attach the stuff below him. I think that should work just fine. So that'll go there. We'll have the storage bus underneath. This will obviously be told that you have uranium ingots inside. Wonderful. That will have a cable here. We will search dense. We need at least one smart one so we know what we're dealing with, and then I believe just one dummy, or actually we could probably do two, I think. Two just covered ones. So boom, boom. Smart cable can go there so that we can read off of it. And then these guys can go there. And as you can see, this guy should boot, and he should be using, say, 10 channels, which is what we have there. This guy below here, I believe we can just pick him up directly. I don't think we have to worry about what he was connected to or anything. He can go here. Obviously, he too will be saying, hey, uranium ingots go in there. And then all we need is a cable, I believe. Slap that guy there, and he will maintain full, hopefully. And I think everything is fully operational. All of these machines should be able to run. Everything should be runnable. Runnable? Yes, exactly. So, what are we seeing? This guy is, I think, finishing off what he had on him. They're obviously emptying what they had inside. Sure. If we go in here, in terms of what we ordered, that stuff's all gone. So now, all that's left is to order the antimatter again. Now, I actually forgot to reconnect this stuff, which, I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I can, but I guess we can try. What are we going to get? Network booting? Device online, device online? Sounds great to me. We'll come back over here. What do we see? It is ordering an antimatter. Now, the reason it's ordering this... Oh, it's actually using... Oh, it's apparently using some of this, which I am a little bit surprised about. I think it's using a combination. The reason this worked, and should continue working, is we have this guy hooked up, and he's going to try and order like 6 of them, but he does one at a time. So I'm very happy. That should keep happening. Yeah, okay. So if we don't have it in the next episode, as in if this is still like very far away, if we're nowhere near on the honeycombs, because it kind of looks like we're not, we might have big production changes happening next episode. We'll see what happens. Nevertheless, we are 4 antimatter short on what our goal is to make these this stuff that we need. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying this one. We are, yeah. I think next episode it happens regardless, sort of. I say sort of. By the way, I had to cancel these. These things were so expensive. The providers or the cells, sorry, they are phenomenally expensive. One of these needs 400 infused alloys. Like, I don't know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it just was. Our entire system was clogged, and I'm like, why is it clogged? It was clogged because of this stuff. Like, actually crazy stuff. This one looks like it's crafting fast, but I'm telling you, it was ridiculous. I'll order a few. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.